how's it going? Today I thought I'd do a bit of a different video and go outside the realm of Amazon. Ooh, I know, daring. But hopefully this video will be helpful and instrumental for lots of you that of course have your own Amazon businesses, but maybe you have other businesses that are different to Amazon, or maybe you're watching this and you are not involved with Amazon in any way, and you're thinking about starting your own business in whatever it is, or maybe you currently have one and you've just gotten started but you're feeling a bit about it all. Now, every successful business person that I know, and that's not just within the realm of Amazon, literally any business, and take what you will from the term success, because let's face it, everyone gives the word success their own definition. So, for some people, success will look like being a 7-figure seller, owning a yacht, having a massive house, that's success. But for some people, it might be just having their own little business and they've actually been able to make that little business work. That's success. For some people, success is literally just having a good day. So, take what you will from that term. But every successful business person that I know reads. Reading is such an important skill, and in an age where technology sort of rules, reading kind of gets left behind a little bit. Although I feel like in recent years, and this is purely from my own perspective, I feel like it's maybe had a bit of a resurgence as people have realised, we don't actually want to lose this. And Waterstones, whenever I've been in anywhere, it always has a fair few people in there. So I don't think it's gone. I just don't think it's had a light shone on it as much as it used to. But anyway, I wanted to recommend a book to you. And this book, hopefully you can see it in the blur's not doing it an injustice, but this is the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by a lady called Susan Jeffers. Now, I was recommended this book a few years ago now, when I actually first got into the Amazon space, and I was in a completely different position then to what I am now. So let me just read you the back of this book, and I'll tell you actually which bits I could relate to when I was looking at what this was about. Why would I buy this book? And no, there's no affiliate link. I'm not trying to flog you a book. Take from this video what you will, but hopefully you'll find it instrumental. And I just thought I would give this a bit of a review and tell you how and why this helped me. So this is exactly what it's all about. So it's about feeling a fear, and what you take from fear can differ depending on what you think fear is. So a fear could be something that you are genuinely scared of, but fear for some people could also be a worry, which is a little bit different to being scared about something, being anxious about stuff. Fear takes many different shapes and forms, but basically it's having those feelings and basically how to cope with them. Now, let me just read you a bit at the back. So what are you afraid of? Public speaking. That was me. Many years ago now. Asserting yourself, which I would say was something I could tick going back a few years. Making decisions, that's something again I could relate to. Intimacy, changing jobs, being alone, aging, driving, losing a loved one. So all pretty relevant things, and I think everyone on the planet has at least had a worry or a fear of one of those things, probably more, but that's okay, we're human. However, when it comes to just personal growth and also in effect running a business, these things can be a hindrance on us, what we want to do in life, and also therefore how we then conduct a business. So the whole business thing is one of the main knock-on effects of the changes that you would make upon using this book as a tool. Now, I'm not going to say, with one read, this book will completely change everything for you, because that's not the case. This book, like every other book on the planet, is a tool. And whether it's a book, a podcast, a course, it's down to us to action the information that we have taken from it and conduct ourselves in line with the things that we have learned. So, It wasn't the case for me. It's probably not the case for anyone where they've read this book and life has gone completely perfectly after reading it. That's just not the way that these things work. Again, we have to action these things. So this book, let me read a bit more of the back to you. So whatever your anxieties, feel the fear and do it anyway will give you the insight and tools to vastly improve your ability to handle any situation. You will learn to live your life the way that you want and move forward from a place of suffering, paralysis and depression to one of power, energy and love. And I've said it before, but procrastination, which comes under that paralysis umbrella, literally is the thief of success. If you keep having this, oh, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next year, I'll do it whenever, like when you prolong things consistently, eventually you just don't really ever do it. It's a bit like people that will wait until like the new year to do something. When you still have, I don't know, however many months worth of your current year left, like what's to stop you from doing that stuff now? For some people, depending on what it is, it could be financial stuff, it could just be current situations that are going on and they need them to end and so forth. I completely get that. But for some people, it is just procrastination and pushing stuff off due to having a bit of a worry about it. Now, let me just see if I can find one of my favourite pages of this. One of the reasons why I like this book is because it's very realistic. There's a lot of empowerment, sort of personal growth, self-help books out there that kind of try and sell you a bit of a pipe dream. Like in the case of fear, there's lots of books out there that definitely will claim to make you overcome it and completely rewire your mind. And unfortunately, that's just not realistic. And what I like about this book is that it is realistic and it gives you very real mental tools that you can use to deal with all manner of situations, like everything that's listed on the back here and more. So that was the case for me. Like I used to overthink quite a lot and really spiral, and it would take over my day. For making decisions, that was a bit of a tough one for me. I'd usually bounce between a couple of things continually, then I would then procrastinate. Asserting myself and making sure that I was heard, and public speaking, doing videos like this, like going back a few years, I just like the thought of doing something like this absolutely petrified me. And now, like, here I am, like I'm able to just knock out video after video after video after video because it just does not bother me anymore. Like, I'm more than happy to do them. In fact, I look forward to doing them, which is a complete change on me a few years ago. So this book didn't like rewrite everything for me, make everything perfect once I read it. It just helped me see things slightly differently, gave me a few mental tools that I could then use to implement the foundations of making a better me. And that's exactly what I went ahead and did, and I'm very happy for having done it. But this is one of my favourite pages of the book. Hopefully you can see that and it's not blowing it out too much. Don't know if you can see that very well. Hopefully you can. But basically this is a risk square sort of like diagram thing. So in the middle you have your original zone of comfort, which is where I imagine most people reading this would start off. So there's only a few things that you're comfortable with. And what this book is going to teach you to do is basically what it claims to do on the front, which is having those feelings and just doing stuff anyway, which is the point. It's not about defeating a fear and overcoming it and you never get scared ever again, because we are human and we'll still have those feelings. But it's about knowing how to have those feelings and handle yourself and get yourself to just go ahead and do things anyway, regardless of those feelings inside, and just working alongside them rather than trying super hard to conquer them. You work alongside them and eventually they minimize. So this is what this diagram is basically illustrating here. So you've got your original zone of comfort as a small square. You take one risk. What that risk is, what you would consider to be risky, depends on what your definition of a risk is, and it doesn't have to be a massive thing. It can be a small thing, as long as you go ahead and just do whatever it is. And then actually you'll realise that most of the time these things do actually go okay. The things that you're worried about, they do go okay. Once you then discover that, because you've felt that feeling and just done stuff anyway, you then have a new comfort level, which is a bit bigger. And then you take another risk and it gets a bit bigger after that. Then you take another one and eventually it gets really big and you're not really that worried about doing that much anymore. And if you are, then you've mastered how to have those feelings and just go ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do. So that is one of my favourite pages of this book. I absolutely love that. I referred to that a lot. But yeah, it's not a very big book at all. It's only about, well, it's just shy of 250 pages. When I bought it a few years ago, it was about £10 on Amazon. I think it's going for around that now at this point. And to be fair, you could probably find it cheaper secondhand or on other websites or whatever. But anyway, I'd 100% recommend this book. It's one of my favourite books. And I would say it's probably helped me more than other books have. So yeah, it's great. It's a fantastic tool. And as I say, a knock-on effect from the personal growth that this encourages will have a positive effect on your business. So an example of that is a powerful business tool that you have as you is being able to detach emotion from business decisions, because the two don't really go hand in hand all that well. So we need to be able to make decisions having looked at things from a neutral perspective, sensibly weighed up the pros and cons and so forth, and we go with what the right choice is, regardless of what our personal feelings are about that choice, whatever it may be. And so this will help you do things like that. If you're maybe thinking of, I would love to maybe like document my business journey on, I know, TikTok or YouTube, it can help you with things like that as well. Like I say, before all this stuff, like going back a few years before I read this, before I even thought about anything like this, I'd have been absolutely petrified, and I was petrified of doing things like this, and now here I am just talking your ears off. So, yeah, something has definitely changed, and the start of that change was deeply encouraged by this. Again, I'm not trying to flog you anything at all. I just thought it'd be quite cool to recommend something that I found quite useful, and I know that lots of people hopefully in the space will hopefully find something like this handy. And you know, there's so many books in the world now, it can be hard to choose one that actually will help and sort of make sense to us. Now, I like things to be very grounded and down to earth, and if you're that way, this is great. But that is a bit of a review on Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, the benefits that I found there was to this book. And yeah, reading is what every successful business person I know does. And I'm not talking about super avid reading, like literally all the time, because of course you got a business to run, you got to have your own free time and so forth. But you know, even if it's just picking it up and doing a chapter or two like once a week, I would say that's pretty good. And you know, I think that's quite common actually for most people. So yeah, that's my review. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.